Welcome back, Candy Adventures Explorers. I'm Chris.
I'm Elizabeth.
And today we're going to accept the challenge from our last video to overcome our fears and tackle something that I find absolutely disgusting, which is the freshwater eel, or unagi.
I'm going to clarify, I'm not the one with the fear. He's the one with the pure disgust that's borderline fear.
But I do love the taste of unagi. So we have our rod and reel. We're going to try to hook one. If not, maybe we can push one out and catch one with this spear. And welcome back from Japan is Shiho, and now that Shiho is with us, we have a resident Japanese expert to teach us how to make unagi sauce.
You know how to make it, right?
I don't know everything Japanese, okay? But it's soy sauce, mirin, and brown sugar, and you just reduce it down to 40% of what it was. It's actually really easy. See? Stereotypes sometimes have a little bit of truth to them. I do like the music of Kid Rock, so sometimes the looks are not deceiving.
And I do like Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, so she likes Starbucks and Chick-fil-A, and I like Kid Rock. We are at a pretty high elevation here on Guam. As you can see, the ocean here is far down below us. The eels we're after are unagi, or freshwater eel. I don't know if I'm pronouncing any of that right, but they're down there. And so we're gonna go do where a mouth of a river runs into the ocean, and we're gonna see if we can hook up on these eels. So first, we gotta hike down this ridge back of this beautiful mountain that hopefully we'll have some cool drone footage of it to show you. And we're gonna go down there to an old Spanish bridge, which is here from like the 15 or 1600s, an old rock bridge that still exists that is no longer in use. And we're going to go get on some eels way down there. So come on, let's get down here. Okay, so while our walk is going, so this whole thing's not just a music video to some epidemic sound nonsense that nobody really wants to hear in the first place, even though we don't use that. Thought we'd mention we had no video last week, and they've been coming a little more few and far between. I got a new job, and I've had to have some mandatory overtime, so we both work full-time. And when our schedules don't line up, that means no video that week. And then if we get hit by a 1, 2, 3 punch of a vehicle in the shop, or the weather is really rough, then it just doesn't happen. So that's why we had no video last week. This walk and talk is not about conspiracy theories and the Clintons or anything, but just letting you know why no video. And sometimes there's a little gap in between. You know, there's mandatory overtimes and stuff like that happening in our world outside of YouTube.
This is also a good chance to say thank you to people that have bought our new merch. We were surprised at the number of people that went and got shirts, which was really cool. And he sent photos. And we did get a couple new Patreon supporters for like Christmas. And so it was a nice Candy Adventures Christmas present.
But as you can see, it's a really pretty place to hike. So we'll forget about all the stress of the real world and just focus on here more of the make-believe land that YouTube is. So no more problems today. No, you know, here's our video. We're having a great time. It's sunny, a little windy, but let's get down here and catch some unagi.
Oh, you sounded like an angry Japanese man. So as you can see by the magic of the drone, we've been walking downhill, so we started up high on elevation. We're about halfway down right now, and the river that we're kind of following along, we've crossed over it a couple times now, is starting to get bigger, and we're starting to see some jungle perch. So halfway there, we're going to continue on down, following this beautiful ridge and this beautiful trail on the way down to get to the salt water. I bet there's eels in here, but I really like the idea of the confluence of the fresh and salt water, as that's where we're going to catch this. So we could probably catch some here, but we're going to keep on going down where we belong at the bottom. Rock bottoming! You're rock bottoming! And try to catch some of these eels down there. And when we don't catch any down there, we'll try to work our way up with shame. but I have developed a bit of a jungle perch or flagtail addiction, and I'm sitting here looking at them right now. But we're gonna just continue on, leave these guys be, and not catch them, even though we could. And I'm capable enough to do it, no matter what my stepfather says. I graduated college.
It's in the past.
But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and down and leave these little guys be, just like my stepfather left me be and never took me anywhere. I'm not gonna take these guys anywhere. I'm gonna head down and catch some eels.
He doesn't have a stepfather.
But he's still got stepdaddy issues. Oh, we're here.
Yeah.
Oh.
JK.
Okay, JK LOL. We're about 15 steps away from the bottom, so we didn't do a good job at figuring out where we were. Our land nav is atrocious, but we made it.
So it's super windy today. Hopefully the audio comes through okay. We got our little lavalier mics on as long as it doesn't start raining, but it's super windy, which is another reason we're not out on the boat, out on the ocean, which right underneath those this old Spanish bridge here is the ocean, is the Pacific Ocean out here in Guam. This is the Spanish Bridge, Sella or Seti Bay hike?
This is Sella.
Sella Bay hike. I always get those two confused. Super quick, fun hike, and comes down here where this river and the ocean come together. They don't quite touch, but they kind of trickle in, and when the tide's right, it kind of washes back and forth. But this super old Spanish bridge is a really beautiful place if you want to come put on your long floppy hat and get your Instagram shot. This is a great place for that. And we've actually camped here before on our Halloween video when we talked about Tautomonas, or the ancient spirits of Guam.
That's true, and that this is haunted. And that was Mona's debut on our channel as well. So to reiterate, we have two different methods that we're going to try for these eel. We have standard fishing pole, which could work. We caught the eel in the RC boat with the hook last time, so there's potential.
Oh no! Oh no! This is the worst case scenario that there has ever been. We have an eel on. We have an eel on.
But otherwise, we have Chris's spear that he tried to make for shrimp, and for some reason the shrimp won't stay on these prongs on the end. But what I think is going to work is this, because this end, this tip, is actually made for frog gigging, which is very popular in the southeastern US. Like bullfrogs, people that eat frog legs, they use these prong heads on a stick or whatever they can find, and then you spear a frog and put it in a bucket, and then you eat the legs. So I think this could actually work better for eels than shrimp. We'll see.
And a backup plan, if we can't get on any eels, there's lots of flagtail or jungle perch in here. We might just finally do a catch and cook on one of these. I know in every video somebody says you've got to try a catch and cook with these flagtail. So if we can't catch the eel, it looks like we have some good backup options in here to still make our sushi rolls for tonight. And we'll still use the eel sauce, even though it's both white meat. So.
Eel flavored jungle perch.
Let's get the tools out and get in the water.
What we're using for bait is we just have some squid on a little hook on our trusty little super cheap reel and pole combo we've been using for a long time. We've got our little piece of squid, and we're also seeing some mangrove snapper in here, which is super awesome. We've never caught one of those, but they're real small. But we already see some eel, so hopefully we can get one on a hook.
So Shio and I were trying to look for eels, and then Chris just goes, "Oi!"
So Shio and I were trying to look for eels, and then Chris just...
Alright, so I don't want to touch that one, and it's all...
Wait, you have to face your fear.
So the bait I'm using is very big. That eel was too small. He didn't actually bite the hook, he just bite the bait. So let's try to get a bigger one. But we successfully kind of caught an eel, so success kind of.
It's so gross. I'm watching him slither around in a circle down here. He's got it. I think he's hooked. There we go. All right. So we got a disgusting eel on the hook this time. And, oh, nope, nope. All right, let's hopefully third time's the charm. That one looked like he could have been a little bit better size, but I can't express how much I don't want to touch that. I have a weird thing with worms, even like night crawlers and stuff. They just creep me out. And this is like a worm on steroids, a worm with teeth, which is like the worst thing I could ever dream up. And right now I'm watching them wriggle around and try to find this bait, and it's just creepy and gross. These things are super slimy. There's a whole process you have to do just to get the slime off of them so you can eat them. But hopefully we can catch one and enjoy some unagi. All right, so still being a little unproductive. We have yet to actually land anything. Caught several things, and then as soon as I get them up to me, then they fall off because they're not actually hooked. But we're still trying. We're now moving away from the ocean a little bit currently, and just walking a few feet inland, and maybe the less salty water makes them more hungry or something.
I don't know if that was on.
She fell again.
All right, so I'm gonna try just this one more hole where the spot we're in right now. Two rivers come in and meet a beach coming down the mountain, and we're on the more southerly along the beach line river, and we're gonna just walk 5 steps up the beach and go up this other river and see if maybe I don't let those eels immediately get off the hook and then get really squeamish and not want to touch them and step away as they wriggle back into the water. So one more try on this river, and then we'll go try the other one.
Woo! Jungle perch.
All right, so that's a nice fat jungle perch. And it's gonna be a shame, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one back, and hopefully that we catch a eel. Yeah. So that's a nice jungle perch, but not what we came for today. If we go another hour or so and don't catch anything, then we will have some jungle perch sushi. So let's go ahead and let this little guy go back. All right. So the jungle perch seem to be very voracious, and I think they're getting to the bait before it has a chance to get down to the bottom where the lowly, disgusting eel can have a chance to get to it. So this is still a lot of fun, but we're having the exact opposite problem that we had last time we came out, which was we were just catching eels, or couldn't get the eels to leave us alone and not catch a jungle perch. So these are fun problems to have. I'm not gonna complain though.
There's so much more room for you to just throw it on land.
Yes. I still don't want to touch it because that's what happened last time. I had plenty of opportunity to grab it, yeah. And I just didn't want to.
Yeah. You hesitated.
It wasn't hesitation. It was I just didn't want to.
It was choice.
Oh my God. I still don't want to.
They can't be that bad. Are they that slimy?
Yes.
To the other river.
We got a small little eel here.
Is he on the...
Third time on camera. So another jungle perch here. Again, I think they snatch these things up before they have a time to get to the eels. But can't complain about catching super fun, beautiful little fish like this in a setting that I can't imagine there's anywhere. I'm sure there's places that match this on planet Earth, but nowhere is prettier than this right here, catching these fish. So even if we fail, this is a really good place and a really good way to fail at something.
Another little teeny tiny eel on here. And again, they just don't get hooked and they're too small, but you can.
Got a tentacle.
He got a little piece. Oh, and he's doing a death roll. Just when I thought these guys couldn't get creepier. They turn it to 11.
Nom nom nom. Spin. Try touching it.
So we're failing and succeeding all in the same time. And this is our, I don't know, maybe 10th jungle perch for today. They are being super cooperative, super beautiful. Just can't seem to figure the eels out. All right, so we have an eel. It's taking the bait. I don't know how to set the hook on eels. I think that's why we keep missing them. But we have another eel, and I think he's on. Oh yeah. He's on. Woo! Woo! There we go.
Go to land.
There we go.
Pretty slimy.
All right, so we're gonna get somewhere a little more land-based so he can't get away if he gets off the hook again. Get a cool backdrop. All right, so here's the part that I hate and I have not wanted to deal with, is touching one. Oh, they're gross. They want to wriggle. Okay. Okay, I super don't like these things. Oh, it's off the hook.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's off the hook.
Oh no. Oh no.
All right, so we're gonna put this one out of his misery with a good hit to the head.
We don't for your life.
That's for dead for sure right there.
Yeah, that was a good hit.
This is what I don't like. They're gross. They do this and all their nerve. I was watching the Japanese unagi specialists, and when they kill them, they run a, I forget if it's called Ikejime or whatever,
It's like a metal rod, right?
and they run it down their backbone, and it sets all their muscles off, and they do the same behavior. But I know this guy's dead because I felt his skull crack, if that's graphic, and saw it flatten. But we finally got an eel. Hopefully he didn't suffer too much in that killing process. All right, so we finally got this guy cleaned up a little bit with all the slime on our hands.
Look at that. It is all slime.
Ew!
Yeah, you have to like scrape it off to wash it. And more.
Ew!
Just as gross as I thought this was going to be, but hey, we did it. We did it, gang. We are gonna go, now we're gonna hike this thing back up the mountain, and we're gonna skid it and gut it once we get to the house. I watched videos this morning of how they do this, but I'm gonna watch one more just to make sure I don't mess it up, of the Japanese guys and the way they clean these and get them ready for unagi. So we're gonna hike back up the mountain and get this thing going for some sushi.
What are you looking at?
Plan B, that's what I'm looking at.
No! Thank God for Plan A. Have you seen the SpongeBob episode where they basically play Chutes and Ladders, but it's escalators and eels?
Come on, escalators, escalators, escalators. Ah, eels again.
Do you know that episode? What? I'm sorry. They're playing it's Chutes and Ladders, but it's escalators and eels. That's fine, don't worry about it. I'll just live by myself. I'm just gonna drink a beer.
Welcome back to the house. We got the eel, we made it back. It didn't rain on us. We were covered in mosquito bites, but that was actually a really successful day for us. So with Shiho's help, we figured out how to make eel sauce. So the first thing is, there's only 3 ingredients from what we can tell. It's a rice wine. Now this appears to be, I think, a Chinese rice wine. Hopefully this works because we're gonna put a lot of brown sugar in it. So it's just this, and it is this, and then it is brown sugar. So 3 ingredients, half a cup of each, and you get them all hot and mix them all together and then reduce them down to where there's there's less moisture in it. So let's go ahead and start doing that, and then we can go ahead and do the nasty part and gut this slimy creature and get it on the grill. So we got the communist side of the measuring cup, and we're gonna go ahead and flip it on around to the freedom side and get a half a cup of this Chinese rice wine. Where's half a cup?
Wrong. It's not on here.
Well, there's no half a cup on our measuring
maybe
cup.
that one.
That's a 4.
But
That's ounces.
But
Why does it
maybe
go to
it is
2/3?
half a cup.
But it goes 2/3, so half. I'm gonna
what
say
do you
half
think
is
this line is?
We got this.
It says 4 though. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So we've got our pot. Let me just vent a little bit real quick. This pot annoys the ever-loving hell out of me because why do people who make pots and pans put stickers on there? We have had this thing for a year and have cooked with it 100 times and washed it, and the sticker's still on there. That's super annoying. Stop doing that, companies. Stop doing that.
This is how we get anti-sponsored.
Yes, this is why we have no sponsors. Okay. All right, so we just pour that into the pot, just like that. And then we do the same thing with the soy sauce. We like to use a Kinkaman because we also agree with their stance on abortion.
They have a strict stance on abortion.
No, they don't. But this is also why we have no sponsors. So we go ahead and put a half a cup of
Which is we've now decided the 4.
the soy sauce.
No matter what, it's a 1-to-1 ratio.
So the only different part here with the brown sugar, where it does get a little technical, is you kind of have to sprinkle it in a little bit and let it dissolve as it goes. If there are granules of the brown sugar in here, it will burn inside your cooking process, and then you're going to have some bitter tasting eel sauce, which you should have some sweet tasting eel sauce. So that's the only part where it gets a little technical. So.
And that's why Chris is going to do it, because I actually cooked the rice earlier, and this is the bottom of the rice pan. Shio, you're not supposed to laugh behind the camera.
So, a lot of pizza roll dinners around here. So we're gonna go ahead and get this cooking on a 5. If you don't use a 5, it's not gonna do right. So put your stove on 5.
So stove at 5, measuring cup at 4.
Yeah. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little sugar in at a time.
What about a nug?
We're gonna try to keep most of the nugs out. We like to use music either that we have created ourselves or that our friends or other small YouTube channels or big YouTube channels have made, instead of using like a lot of that free background music that a lot of channels use. I find that especially grating on my ears. Especially, you know, a lot of channels use, it sounds like chipmunks singing along
and
to something.
Synth music and...
Nobody listens to that in real life, so why would you use it in a video? This channel right here was kind enough to let us use this cover of the AC/DC song, which is a tribute to Malcolm, who passed away recently. This is a brilliant song, and these guys were kind enough to let us use this. So please go over and show them some love on their channel, even though their channel is bigger than ours. I would like to give them a shout out and thank them for letting us use this music.
Thank you.
This is me doing it.
Uh-huh.
This is you doing it.
One has enthusiasm when one doesn't. Well, I'm hard to hear.
Just the biggest thing is you want to make sure your sugar doesn't burn. So I've been told. But you and I both know a little secret. I'm going to look you dead ass in the eyes, even if I burn this, and tell you, this is the best thing I've ever had. Because you know that's the relationship we have, and you know that to expect that from us is that we might fib to you for entertainment's sake. And I'm going to eat pizza rolls if this doesn't work out. But
do we have some?
Of course we have pizza rolls. All right, so we finished our sushi rice. It's all sticky and starchy and moist and sticky together. And so that's ready. We have finished making our sauce, which is all sticky and thick and ready to go. Our charcoal grill is the only thing that's not sticky out of all of this, but it's very hot and ready to go. Now we just have to do the part I've been dreading, which is
the cleaning of
gutting
the
and
eel.
cleaning this thing. So the plan is, what we've seen watching multiple videos about making unagi and about dealing with eels as they're very slippery, is that they will take a nail and that they will drive it through the animal's head to hold it still, because otherwise you're trying to fillet this thing and it's just, there's nothing to hold. It's just a slippery, slimy mess. So I drilled a hole, because I don't have a board. I drilled a hole in our cutting board and I got a nail so that we can line up the hole and stick it in, and then we can fillet this thing.
And you just use the side of a knife, right?
Yeah. But you remember the knife that they were using is a very thick, heavy hammer-like knife.
And this is not.
Yeah, you're not gonna have a lot of hammer force there.
It's so cute. And so...
This just came out of its stomach.
Oh. It just regurgitated a baby fish.
This just came out when I squeezed it. So fun fact, eels have gills, but they practice what is called buccal breathing, which means that they actively have to expand their gills and push water through.
They are mouth breathers. So you hear the term all the time of a mouth breather. That's what an eel is. They sit there and constantly open and close their mouth, and that's how they breathe. Kind of like that annoying person on the airplane seat right beside you. He's just breathing right out the mouth. The nostril, am I right?
I said so boldly I was gonna fillet it, and then I tried for 30 seconds and I couldn't do it, so then Chris did it. Chris and I are notoriously bad at filleting anything. Basically, you fillet both sides around the spinal cord and then cut the spinal cord out. That contains most of the bones.
All right, so now we need to get the sliminess off the skin, because apparently that can affect the taste. So the method that we have seen is that you get some hot water, and the hot water will kind of solidify the slime.
As it's hot, 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 hot.
So you can already see it turning clear. It looks like there's a gelatinous coat, almost like Vaseline on this eel skin. See the skin? This is the part where we eat this gross worm and talk to the fucking camera and pretend like the green skin on the back doesn't bother anybody. So we have our unagi. It is charred.
Yeah.
Has sauce on it, and it is an eel. We're gonna cut it up into pieces, put some nori and some of this super sticky rice on it, and make some sushi, and look you dead ass in the eyes and tell you it's amazing, regardless if it tastes like garbage.
Ooh, oh, listen to that char. Crispy as you cut through it. Ooh.
Mmm.
Mmm.
Mmm. Mmm.
You're overselling it.
It's a little sweet and a little salty and white, kind of flaky, a little bit chewy eel meat, and it's delicious. Tastes like unagi.
Pretty good.
We did it.
Woo!
We did unagi. So all you people who said that you would buy our groceries, if we, not you people, Shiho, like you people, not in the way.
But like the couple people in the comments from the last video that said we would buy our groceries.
So we tried it, and it's good. But I probably wouldn't do it again because I hate handling these things, and I think jungle perch is way more fun to catch and fight as a sporting thing.
So does that mean we qualify for them buying our groceries? Because they said only if we like it.
I do like it, but I would rather have wahoo or mahi or jungle perch or lobster or trout or salmon or...
I would rather just buy this at a sushi restaurant.
Yeah, I would rather have it at a sushi restaurant. The extra work for the slime removal and the catching of it, because they're so slow to react, the jungle perch jump in there and get the bait first.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't target this again, but it is good to eat, and this was a fun experience, and we learned a lot. All right, so thanks for watching. Thanks for everybody who donates and buys merch and all that kind of stuff. This is a dream that we've had for, at least I've had, especially for over almost a decade on YouTube trying to make successful content. It still hasn't worked yet, but thank you for the people that still do tune in, because I'm going to keep making it.
Yes. And I'm not as seasoned. I'm only as long as this channel has been successful, but I really like it, and I wish we could do this full time. So that is the dream, that eventually this can get going, and we can do this more often and maybe more successfully. As you do it more often, you do get better. So the failure ideally would diminish as we went on.
All right, and through the mists of time, we thank you, and we will see you again, hopefully sooner than the last time we uploaded. Thank you, Shiho.
It's not.
It's pretty good.
How
The sauce makes it, honestly.
if there was no sauce, it wouldn't be redeemable.
I don't think so. It's not bad though.
Thank God it's covered with sugar.
Yeah, the sauce is really good. You guys nailed the sauce.
That's pretty cool.